Are you struggling with meal planning? Today, I'm showing you my easy system to save time and money in the kitchen. Hey, I'm Sarian, and I love sharing my system on how to plan your minutes, your money, and your meals to manage your mindset and live a healthy and abundant life. This video will show you my meal planning system on how I minimize food waste. So stick around to the end because I have a bonus tip that makes this even easier. So the first thing you see me do is I actually write in the dates for the week that I am planning. This is 16th through 22nd of March. And this is just a meal planning sheet that I created myself. It's undated, so it can start on any day of the week that you like. I actually prefer a Sunday through a Saturday, so that's how I set mine up. So I write in the day of the week, and then I go back and I'll actually write in the date for those days. Okay, so now what you see me doing is I'm actually going and reviewing the current week meal plan list to see anything that we may have not eaten. And the reason I do this is because to minimize the waste, I already know I have everything on hand for this meal because it was planned. We just, for whatever reason, didn't eat it. So that's what I'm actually doing now. And okay, what you see me doing now is filling in breakfast. And I can tell you, breakfast for us, it is pretty boring. It is pretty standard. I don't overthink it. We pretty much have the exact same thing every week. Even if you look at the previous weeks in some of my videos, breakfast is pretty standard across the board. I'm not a meat eater, nor do I eat eggs. So I am more of a plant-based eater, and my husband and my son, they both eat meat and they both eat eggs. So you'll see me write down eggs, egg sandwich, sausage, but those things are for them. And then you'll also see me write down stuff like oatmeal. My son will eat oatmeal, but a lot of times if I write it down, it's mainly that's what I plan on having for breakfast. So you'll see like 2 items written down for breakfast, and that's because one is for them and then the other one is for me. And a lot of times they don't feel like eating breakfast. So that's how we still always end up having those items, throughout the week. And I already know we have them because I always keep them on hand because I know that at some point during the week, they're going to feel like eating breakfast and we're going to eat it. Also on Saturdays, I always try to do like a family style breakfast where, we have a bigger breakfast, grits, eggs, tofu scramble, toast, something like that, where we all can come together and sit down and have breakfast. And that's breakfast. Okay, now what you see me doing is actually planning my son's lunch for the week. At his school, he has school lunch 2 days a week, and that's whatever days that he picked on the menu to eat school lunch, and then he takes his lunch box the other 3 days. And then for his lunch box, my son is a very picky eater, so he like Lunchables. He'll eat a peanut butter and jelly sandwich. He may have a ham sandwich every now and then, but usually I'll just wait for him to ask me to buy some ham for a ham sandwich. And he usually take like a sandwich or a Lunchable, and then he usually take a fruit and then a bottle of water. And that's basically how we do lunch. Every now and then you'll see me fill something in for what I plan on eating. Usually when I eat lunch is usually some type of leftover or something that I can make real quick, like a salad. And that's our lunch menu. Okay, as far as dinner, as you see, we went through breakfast and lunch pretty quickly. Those two meals for the day for us are pretty standard each week. So it's not a lot of thought process going into that. So now we're working on dinner. Now with dinner, as you can see me looking at the other page, that is what we had for the current week that we did not eat. So I already know we have those items on hand. I already know that, we need to eat that food up so it doesn't go to waste. Also, what you see me looking at is the items after I've done my inventory for my pantry, my freezer, and my refrigerator, I do an inventory to see what we still have on hand so that we can use up those items and minimize food waste and save money at the same time. So you see me planning meals around what we already have. Always shop at home first. That's one of the key things on saving money and saving time, because it takes time to go to the grocery store. It takes money to go to the grocery store. So if you shop at home first and see what you can use, then you saving time and you saving money. So it's a win-win. So that's what you see me doing here. And then for dinner, I fill in what we didn't eat for the week. And then I'll go back and look at what we already have on hand and actually start. Not be a complete meal, but we have like a meat item. We may have some fish. We may have some chicken. We may have a vegetable. And so I'll pick an item that we already have on hand and I'll actually create a meal around it. That item can be a meat. It can be a vegetable. It can be a can of something. It can be something in the freezer. Whatever that item is what I will create a meal around. And that way I'm still saving money and saving time, because now I'm picking up less stuff from the store because I already have part of a meal that I have that I can create based on stuff that we already have in hand. Also, I also do filler meals where we eat leftovers, where we eat out of the freezer or we eat out of pantry. That's one of those days where we may have something going on. We have enough leftovers. We may not have enough leftovers. And, that way we do use up our leftovers. And that's how I plan dinner. Okay, so now what you see me doing is I am actually going across the menu for each day to see what items I need to purchase for that day. Say like if we didn't have any more oatmeal and we had oatmeal on the list, I would actually write oatmeal in the notes sections of my meal planning system. That way I'll know that's something I need to pick up for that. So that's what I'm actually doing, is just going across each day, each meal for that day to make sure we have everything on hand that I need for those meals. And then also another thing that I will write sometimes in the notes section, if we have events going on, if we have a late appointment, mainly the things that affect dinner, because that's mainly where we will have, we sit down and may do family dinner, because we do family dinners on Sundays and Wednesdays. So those are mainly the days that I'm paying attention to as far as like events where we may need to change and do family dinners on a different day. So I'm just finishing up what I have to buy. And then also you'll see me looking at one of the days I saw something that we could use that I already have on hand. I think it was red potatoes or something. So I added that to a meal that I had already planned, since we already have it on hand. That way I'm still buying less. And then the last thing that I do is after I've listed everything that we need for the week, I actually create a shopping list based on category. Okay, thanks for sticking around to this part. So this is the bonus tip that I have for you all when you have different types of eaters in your family. What I mean by that, somebody that's plant-based, that does not eat meat or eggs like myself, and then like my son and my husband, they do eat meat, they do eat eggs. So that's what I mean by different types of eaters. So the thing that I do to make it easier for me to plan meals so that we can all eat together is, for myself, I will do a meal prep mainly for myself. I sometimes meal prep some of their things, but mainly for the things that I'm going to eat is I'll prep a grain, being a quinoa, a rice, some type of pasta. So I'll prep one grain at the beginning of the week. I always do a big salad that I prep every week. I always prep some type of salad, a leafy green salad. And then I always prep at least 2 proteins, be it like a bean, some tofu, a tofu scramble, but I always prep 2 types of protein for myself. And then I also do 2 breakfast items. So my breakfast item may be overnight oats, or I may prep a granola. I may prep a tofu yogurt so that I can to eat with the granola. So those are the things that I'll actually do. So that's what you actually see me writing down now, is I'm actually planning out some meal items that I can prep for myself for the week to make it even easier. Now, what I do with these items is I'll have them for lunch, I have them for breakfast, and then these are things that I can quickly prepare for myself and pair and eat with them the things that I've already had. So say for instance, if they have a meat and then I've cooked a potato or I've cooked a green bean, then I'll just add whatever protein I've already prepped for myself. And then that way we can all eat dinner together. And same thing, sometimes I'll just cook something like a base grain, like a rice. We'll say just like a rice and a green bean, and they'll have their protein and then I'll have my protein. And then that's how I can easily plan our meals together, even though we eat differently. And so this is the final meal plan for the week. And now the last thing and the final bonus tip that I have for you is I actually do a meal prep plan. So like I was saying before, I prep a lot of things that I eat. And so I'll actually write out a plan for me to prep and try to prep a few things for the week so that it saves me time during the week when I don't have as much time to, you know, cook a whole meal and cook everything that we need for that meal. I'll actually write out a plan to get those things done ahead of time, like on a Saturday evening or a Sunday right after church or whatnot. And so that's what you see me doing here is I'm actually writing out the things that I can prep ahead of time. Like I usually prep some type of grain or some type of pasta ahead of time. And then also another bonus tip is if we have rice more than twice in a week, I'll cook enough to where we can just heat up the rice. And if we don't use the rest of it or use the extra that I cook, rice is a great thing to freeze and use for later. You know, even some other items that I may cook and that we don't use, I'll just freeze it. And so that's my meal planning system. Thanks for watching. Again, thanks for watching. But if this has helped, make sure you hit that like button and comment below what is your biggest takeaway. And don't forget to subscribe for more content like this. Thanks again for watching.